Madam President.
The Senator from Tennessee.
Madam President, I ask consent that the quorum call be vitiated.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, later today, the Senate will consider the nomination by the President of Judge Bernice Donald for the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. Judge Donald is from Memphis in Tennessee. I know her well. I'm here today to introduce her to my colleagues and to encourage them to support her confirmation. Judge Donald's been before the Senate before. She's been a federal district judge since 1995. Our Judiciary Committee in the Senate has looked over her qualifications again and recommended her to us without dissent. The American Bar Association has reviewed her credentials and said she is either qualified or very well qualified. So I think there's not much doubt about her fitness to serve on the Court of Appeals. So in my remarks, I would like to talk more about Judge Donald's role in the community and her role as a pioneer in our country during her lifetime. She's the sixth of 10 children. Her parents were a domestic worker and a self-taught mechanic in DeSoto County, Mississippi, which is just south of Memphis. As a young person, she was among the first African Americans to integrate her high school during the period of desegregation. She obtained a bachelor's degree from the University of Memphis and graduated from its law school. She's focused her career at the beginning working with among the most vulnerable citizens in Memphis in the Office of Legal Defender. Here's where the pioneer story continues. Not just in desegregating her high school or working with vulnerable citizens, but only 3 years after she left law school, she began a judicial career that has spanned nearly 3 decades. She became the first African-American female judge in the history of our state in 1982. 6 years later, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, upon which she has been nominated to serve by the President, appointed her to serve as United States bankruptcy judge for the Western District of Tennessee. Again, she made history. An African-American female judge had been appointed as a bankruptcy judge in the United States. Then in 1995, as I mentioned earlier, President Clinton nominated her to be a federal district judge. On December 22nd of that year, the Senate confirmed her by unanimous voice vote, and she became the first African-American female district court judge in the history of Tennessee, and she served in that capacity for 15 years. She's flourished in her career, not just on the court, but in her profession. She's just concluding a 3-year term as secretary of the American Bar Association, and she's previously served on this committee on governance and on its board of governors. She's been equally active in the local and Tennessee bars. She gives a good deal of her time to community organizations, the Memphis Literacy Council, the University of Memphis Alumni Board, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Calvary Street Ministry, the YWCA, and others. It's coincidental, but I think it's fitting that Judge Bernice Donald, a pioneer in so many ways in our state's history, will be the first nomination for the federal bench that this body will consider after the opening of the Martin Luther King Memorial here in the nation's capital. Her life, which is full of education and service and achievement, is a testimonial to the success of Dr. King's movement and the kind of leadership that he inspired. I commend her on all that she's accomplished, both in her profession and in our state and in her community. I know Memphis is proud of her. I look forward to voting in favor of her confirmation this afternoon, and I hope my colleagues will do so as well. I thank the President, and I yield the floor, and I notice the absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Akaka.